Hello everyone, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 4 of the commissioned Canjo builds. Okay, so today is Thursday. I haven't uploaded a video on this series since last Friday. I have been kind of busy, obviously, with the teaching and everything. I've also had some technical difficulties with my phone, which I use for recording. The unfortunate side of that is that I've still had to, crack on with this Canjo project because it's commissioned and I need to get on with it. So I have made a little bit of progress off camera with the neck for the Dutch cocoa tin Canjo. So what I have done since you saw last is I've cut the fret slots in the neck, but I haven't put the frets in yet. And I've actually also shaped and profiled and sanded the neck. Now, don't worry, you're not going to miss out on any of that, because I'm going to show you what I did on this next neck blank, which is for the cake tin Canjo. So I've cut the fret slots, and I've contoured and shaped and sanded the neck. So that's the order. Remember from the last video I was trying to decide what order to do things, so this is the order I'm doing it. So this is the next neck blank, and you can see it's very rough at the moment. So the order is cut the fret slots first while the neck blank is relatively square, so that I can hold it in my workbench steady to cut the fret slots. Then after the slots are cut, then do the shaping of the neck, and not right down to the final sanding, although I have sanded this right up to about 2000 grit, and it's really nice and smooth. And then fit the frets. Okay, so I'm not going to do that to this one yet. What I want to do is show you how I got to that stage on that neck by doing it on this neck. So first of all, how do I mark out the fret positions? Well, it's quite simple. I've got a template, okay, a neck template, a neck or fretboard template. So let's see. So what I do is I get the position on the neck where I want the frets, and then I mark out where the frets are going to go. So you can see, because this is a diatonic fretboard, you don't use all of the frets from a standard fretboard. So this would be a standard fretboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. But you can see I've skipped some, so skip the first one, and then I mark one there, skip, mark one there, mark one, skip, mark one, etc. So this would, on a standard fretboard, this would be the 12th fret. On a diatonic fretboard, this is actually the 7th fret, but it's still halfway up the fretboard, whether it's 12 frets or 7 frets, at the 12th or 7th fret. So you can see how that's turned out on this one. So you've got from where the nut will be, there's the first fret, and then the second and third and fourth and fifth, and right away up to there. Okay, so I have already marked out where the frets are going to go on this fretboard using this template. So you'll see this is a 21-inch scale, 24 fretboard template. Now I have other ones of these Here's another one, and this is a 25.5-inch scale, so a longer one. Just to compare, so that's the two of them together. And you can see how much longer the fretboard actually is, and the difference in position of the 12th fret. And you can also see where I've got X's marked, that's where I skip frets. Okay, so I've just realised as well, for this one I have already started to make the nut. I'm not sure if this nut is going to be high enough, so I may have to put the very small shim underneath, but that's something I'll show you later. So now that I've marked out where these frets are going to go, I'm going to remove the template. Okay, so just a bit of masking tape holding it on. Okay, now let's just angle the camera down so you can see what I'm doing, in theory. Oops. Okay. This is quite hard to position this where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, right, give me a minute and I will set this camera up where you can see what I'm doing properly. Okay, you're perhaps a little bit further away than I would like, but you can see I've got the, can you see? You'll see the pencil marks here where the frets are going to go. Now this, because this is a wider neck than the other one, I'm going to use set square and my fine pencil just to mark those lines all the way across. Now I need to make sure these are really very accurate, so okay, this one. Okay, so I've marked out the first 3 frets, or the fret markers, there we go, let's see it better like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of that off camera. You don't really want to watch me do that because that will take a few minutes. So I'll bring you back once I've marked them all out and then show you how I cut them. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so I've got all the frets marked now with a pencil, where they're all going. Okay, now the way I'm going to cut these, I have a jig set up in my bench here, which is specifically for this, for cutting fret slots, and I'm going to need to put you back there out of the way. So this is my fret saw, and you'll see I've put some masking tape along the blade and just left the cutting edge of the blade showing proud. Now what I did was I measured the tang. Let me just get a fret wire. Okay, so this is the fret wire, and that's the top of the fret, and then underneath this part goes into the fret slot. Now you can't see it clearly, but there are notches or barbs all the way along the bottom of there which hold the frets into the fret slots. So I've measured how deep that is, and with the masking tape I've left that amount of depth on the cutting edge of the blade so that I don't cut the fret slots too deep. I only cut them as deep as that masking tape allows. So this again is a really, really important part to get absolutely perfectly right. Okay, I just need to put a piece of wood at the back there to stop that dropping through. Okay, so I need to put the neck in this jig and pull it against the front edge and line up the mark where the fret's going to go. Okay, so I need to make sure that is absolutely perfect. Okay, so, and the first cut is also the most important, but I have left a little bit of extra wood at this end where the nut's going to go, and I will adjust that at the end. Because the mistake I've made with these in the past is trying to cut it exactly the distance from the nut. So, and it often went wrong. So what I'm doing now with these is I cut all the fret slots first and leave this top portion longer than necessary, and then cut it back to the exact measurement for the nut, which again I will show you later. Okay, so let's make the first cut. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so that's the first slot cut. You can see it's not very deep at all. It should be just about the right depth. Just gonna double check that for depth. Okay, we're good. Right, so once again I'm going to pause here. You don't want to watch me cut 12 or 13 fret slots. It's all exactly the same, and I'll bring you back when it's finished. Okay, so I've cut all of the fret slots now, and the way I'm just checking that they are all in the right place is I've put the template back on, and you can see the fret slots line up with all of the marks. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. And if you look very carefully at this top end, okay, so that one is lined up with that mark there, and you can see, the end of this template. So where the end of that template is where your nut will go, and you can see I've got probably a good 3 or 4 millimeters extra there, which means that I can cut this back little by little to get the nut in exactly the right place. Now, to make sure I get that really accurate, I've got some new tools actually. Just put it back a bit. Okay. So one of the new tools I acquired recently was a set of digital vernier calipers. Now these are not the really, really expensive ones, but compared to the old mechanical set I had, which are absolute rubbish, these are much better. So these are digital ones. It's all stainless steel, whereas this is just, it's tin. Absolutely useless. So I've got those, which allows me to make really accurate measurements, and it's very, very crucial when you're fitting the nut to a fretboard, because it's got to be exactly the right, or the distance between the nut and the first fret has to be exactly right. I mean, to the fraction of a millimeter. And so those calipers will help me to make sure that I get that really, really close. Now another tool I've also got just recently is electric planer. This neck that I have done quite a bit of work on was all done by hand, which is okay, but it's quite a long process, and I don't really enjoy that part of the process. It's quite satisfying when you get to the end of it, but I don't really enjoy carving and planing and sanding. I know many people do, but I just find it a little bit tedious. But like I said, I do like the end result. Now with this neck, you can see that it's considerably bigger than this one in all dimensions. But I do want this one to be a little bit chunkier, but not quite as chunky as this. So I have got quite a lot of material to take off of this. To do that by hand would probably take me days, literally. So that electric planer is going to, you know, cut the work time down by probably 80%, maybe more. That is not going to be in this video for two reasons. Number one, I'm starting to run out of time, but also this is midweek. I'm going to be teaching in about half an hour. That's come round quick. So I'm not going to be doing any more of that work today, but I will be filming that, recording that and uploading that in some detail to show you how I got to this stage on this neck. So we've cut the fret slots. Okay, next job is to shape, profile and sand the neck, like I've done with this one. Okay, and then after that we fit the frets and do a fret job. So there's still a fair bit of work to do yet. So that will be the next video, is shaping this neck. In fact, it depends on how much time it takes me. So the next part of this is to shape, profile and sand the neck and then fit the frets. So that's probably going to be at least 2 videos anyway. And there are still going to be several more within this series. There's still quite a lot of work to do, and as you can see, I'm making 2 instruments pretty much at the same time. So there's still quite a bit to do. But looking forward to the process, and still got my little secret project after that, which is probably going to be a few weeks away yet, but that's something to look forward to. So my views and comments and everything on these videos have been a little bit lacking recently. I'm trying to get the figures up, and I would just like to say that 99.99% of any comments I get on these videos are positive and reassuring and you know, supportive. I do, however, get 1 or 2 negative comments. Oh, you didn't do this, or you did that wrong, or I don't like the way you did this. Well, here's a little suggestion for you. Don't watch them. Okay, watch someone else. Most of the people who watch my videos do enjoy them. Sure, I make mistakes and I get things wrong, but that's human nature. So if you watch any of my videos and you don't like them, rather than leaving a negative comment, just go and watch someone else's video if you prefer. Like I said, I do have my followers and people enjoy what I do. So if you don't, go somewhere else. It's not, you know, you're not forced to watch my videos, and if you don't like them, then don't watch them. As for the rest of you, and you all know who you are, I really thank you for supporting me. I hope you're enjoying these videos. There will be many more on this project, and I've got some other projects or smaller jobs that I'm going to be doing as well, which will probably come in between some of these videos. So look out for those as well. I'm going to give you a little heads up about 1 or 2 of them. I'm going to do some guitar setups. I haven't really done a full video on that, and I think it's time, because I know that many people would benefit from that and enjoy it. So look out for those and some other videos, and the continuing saga of these Canjo projects. And you all take care, and we'll see you soon. Peace out.